Hi all, it's Danny B and welcome back to another edition of Danny B Needs a Minute. I keep up with all the NASCAR and motorsports news so that you don't have to, and I catch things that you may have missed during the week. So welcome into Danny B Needs a Minute. Let's get into today's episode and run down a few of the news stories and just a little bit on each one. Starting with number one, Chase Elliott may be looking for a redemption arc next season, as he announced on Twitter that he recently had some off-season surgery done so that potentially it could heal up a thing that was plaguing him after this season. So hopefully Chase Elliott comes back to look a little bit better and back to usual form for you Chase Elliott fans next season. Now, while IndyCar has appeared to shut down their agreement with Motorsports Games, this has severely impacted a timetable to eventually get an IndyCar game on consoles. However, it is looking, according to Adam Stern, that iRacing says it is possible it could get back in the business of IndyCar. However, top executive Steve Meyer suggested that even if they did, it would take years for a new console video game to come out. Toyota has announced a new signing into their Toyota Racing development, and I saw this first from Bob Pockers. He said that Toyota announced a multi-year driver development deal with 17-year-old Jade Abedizian, who made the Chili Bowl main event in January. In addition to running midgets on dirt, she will begin her pavement and road course training with a full Toyota GR Cup schedule. Jade posted on her Twitter the same day, "It's official, I'm honored to continue my motorsports career with Toyota Racing and their driver development program in the years ahead. Let's go places." Did you all catch the F1 race in Las Vegas? I actually did, and while I wanted to say more on this originally, I just decided it's not worth the fight. There are other fights within motorsports that I'm willing to fight. We'll get to one here at the end, but I just wasn't a fan of it. I'm sorry. I've tried to give F1 a chance. I tried to give it a chance this weekend. It just wasn't for me. However, there is something that caught my eye that I think I do want to share about this. According to Vital Vegas, this was a tweet that came out. They said chatter is that in 2024, F1 dates will change to October 17th through 20ish. They said it feels weather related, but for me, I'm more concerned on some things that people pointed out. Jet Kraus, aka MDK, here on YouTube, he pointed out that this proposed weekend that they may be moving the F1 race is the same weekend as NASCAR's trip to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So I quote tweeted Jet and I said, "This isn't what we meant by wanting to see a NASCAR and F1 doubleheader. That's competition, not cooperation. One's going to look to succeed, the other one's going to look to be put out into the dirt." Unfortunately, I think I know what would produce a better show, but unfortunately the mainstream sports media would want you to only focus on the F1 race that weekend. I can't say I'm a big fan of this, but you know what? If it happens and they want a competition, well then NASCAR, go prove to them why you're the better sport and go all in and put on the best show that weekend. I do want to wish my congratulations to Justin Haley on getting married over the offseason. On November 17th, 2023, Justin married his new wife, Haley Haley. Yep, that's right. Her first name is Haley, spelled the exact same way as his last name, so she is now Haley Haley. The NASCAR Drive for Diversity program, which has been around for many years now, has unveiled who their 2024 class will be. The class includes Andres Perez de Lara, who will be running in the ARCA Menard Series, LeVar Scott, also running in the ARCA Menard Series, Nathan Lyons, good friend of the channel, nice young man. I've had the opportunity to hang out with him and his mom and get to learn more about them. They are an awesome family, and he is a great young man racing in Legends cars, and he'll be racing in the INEX Legends Car Series with Rev Racing next year. Also in the program is Eloy Sebastian Lopez Falcon, racing in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, as well as Laney Buse, I hope I said that correct, who will be in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series as well. TJ DeCare, also racing in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series. Regina Servant also will be racing in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series. And joining Nathan Lyons over in the INEX Legends Car Series will be Cassidy Keat. And Laquan McCoy Jr. will also be racing in the INEX Legends Car Series. I join everyone else in the motorsports community to say congratulations to these drivers on being part of this year's class, and good luck in all of your racing in 2024. Some sad news to share today from North Wilkesboro Speedway that came out over the week. Longtime caretaker of the Speedway, Paul Call, has passed away. The statement issued by North Wilkesboro Speedway read as followed. We lost our caretaker and a valuable member of the North Wilkesboro Speedway family over the weekend with the passing of Paul Call. A guardian of the property for decades, Paul cheerfully welcomed visitors and maintained the grounds, working for both Enoch Staley and Speedway Motorsports. His spirit personified the passion of the community to bring the Speedway back, and we are grateful he got to see NASCAR's return earlier this year. We join Wilkes County in remembering Paul today and send our condolences to his family. Definitely sad to hear the passing of Paul Call, and again, myself, I do wish my condolences and prayers to his family this week. In more news, the NASCAR Xfinity Series may not be the NASCAR Xfinity Series for much longer, according to Adam Stern. He posted on Twitter, among the off-season topics to watch in NASCAR is whether Xfinity will choose to stop title sponsoring the NASCAR Xfinity Series after its 10-year agreement ends following 2024. This led to many suggesting that perhaps we could see the return of the NASCAR Busch Series. You know, they were the title sponsor for many years in that series, and Busch still has a pretty good relationship with NASCAR. They'll be on board the number 1 of Ross Chastain next year, and of course they are one of the presenting title sponsors of the NASCAR Cup Series, in addition to Coca-Cola, Geico, and Xfinity. But I guess, of course, if Xfinity leaves that series, they could also leave the presenting sponsor, but for now, they are part of the same agreement. And speaking of series, and speaking of Adam Stern, he shared this news. NASCAR is changing the name of its Canadian Regional Series from the NASCAR Pinty Series to the NASCAR Canada Series, moving away from a title sponsor model and into the same direction that the NASCAR Cup Series has gone. This may also lead to that news we heard about the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Maybe we look to go that way in all the series too, but for now, we do know that the NASCAR Canada Series will be co-sponsored by Pinty's Foods and recycling company Evirum. And finally, this was shared from Axios Nashville on Tuesday, and I gotta say, I am not a fan of this. So a group of neighbors, music industry professionals, and artists are pitching a new redevelopment vision for the Nashville Fairgrounds in hopes of leapfrogging the long-discussed NASCAR racetrack plan. This new proposal is the first in recent memory to not include NASCAR or oval stock car racing at all. The plan, which the group has begun pitching to city officials, calls for housing and rehearsal space for artists, a park, and a small track for electric car drag racing. Yep, you heard me correctly. The people who have been most vocal against the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, their biggest complaint has been, we don't want the noise. This would be a way to have some kind of motorsport that isn't really that noisy, but I gotta say, I am not a fan of this. The whole point of preserving the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway is to preserve it for what it was originally built for, that is oval stock car racing. And in my opinion, if you're going to move next to a racetrack, you shouldn't get mad because there are cars racing on a racetrack. It doesn't matter if NASCAR wasn't there when you moved. It's always got the option to bring NASCAR into that speedway. You know, there were people mad in Las Vegas about things that happened to them with the F1 race, but they had a right to be mad because that was brought in literally on their home. This, you chose to move there. If I move next to some train tracks and I get mad about the train blowing its horn, it's tough. That train needs to get through, and it has been there before my house was. And just on top of that, look at the design for this. How is this going to be big enough to even do drag racing? What are we doing, a 40-yard dash? I mean, keep in mind, this is inside of what is currently a half-mile short track. It just won't work, guys. You don't have enough room for a runoff area even. And then even using the turns in the design of this thing, it's just a slap in the face to us motorsports fans. But that is all I have got for today. I am in no way a big fan of wanting to see Tesla's drag racing in Nashville, but there are people out there who want to see it happen. I do not get their logic, but that's all I've got for now. I will not have any more videos this week, guys. Enjoy Thanksgiving with your family. Remember, the reason for this season is to be thankful for all that we have. Be thankful for your family. Be thankful for all that is good in your life. And until next time we talk, guys, I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.